San Diego, home to one of California's largest sport fishing fleets. The talk around town lately has been of El Nino, the warm water currents that in 1983 brought north some of the most incredible fishing we've ever seen. Is it back? Is it for real?
Where are you at?
Nice tuna, man.
2 at a time. Well, I'm Dan Hernandez. I'd like to welcome you to another exciting episode of Sport Fishing. Go ahead, go.
Welcome to Sport Fishing with Dan Hernandez. The largest recorded bluefin tuna was taken in the waters off Catalina Island and weighed 363.5 pounds. Welcome to H&M Landing in San Diego. San Diego is home to one of the world's largest sport fishing fleets, and for good reason. The variety of fish here and in nearby Mexican waters offer anglers great fishing year-round. The talk lately is of another El Nino. The fish counts are up, and yellowfin tuna are showing the strongest. Yellowfin tuna are widely distributed in the Pacific Ocean and will travel great distances even up north into the California waters when the ocean temperatures are warm. They are usually found by trolling feathered lures and checking kelp patties. Once found, they can be taken on both live baits and iron jigs. They are considered opportunistic feeders, taking whatever is most available in the area. Let me get a ticket for the Mustang.
Ticket on the Mustang, limited load. There you go.
Thank you. Well, I brought my own gear for this trip, but for the first-time angler who's going to be fishing out of your landing here at H&M San Diego, do you have rods and reels?
Tackle is rentable, and the all-day boat is $10 a rod. It does require that you leave a major credit card deposit for a deposit.
And what kind of rods and reels do you have? Do you have one I can see?
Yes. In this case, Silstar rod with a Jigmaster 500. Right now, for Outer Banks fishing, we recommend 20-pound test.
Well, this is perfect for school-sized fish. Now you also have trolling feathers, I see, and hooks and everything else.
Full tackle store.
Oh, thank you. I better get out on the boat.
All right,
Thank you very much. Standing next to me is Dan Cadota. He's a longtime member of the sport fishing industry here in Southern California. He's a co-owner, and today he's just a passenger aboard the Mustang. And Danny, you ran this boat for 15 years, right?
Yeah, and it's great to be a passenger, Dan.
Dan,
It's great to be a passenger.
with all those years of experience, can you give us some insight on what might expect today?
What we might expect today, it could be anything from Dorado, yellowtail, to football-sized tuna, to a tuna that we're going to be fishing the 60 and 80 pound, and the fish could range anywhere from 60 to 100 pounds plus. So, the diversity of fishing now, it's hard to say what to expect tomorrow.
Is this going to be kind of like a kelp patty trip where we're going to hit different kelp patties and see which one's holding fish?
That's one of the main things that we use. There's we use our sonars, and we locate fish with the meter marks. There's regular jig strikes that we get. And there's also eyeball fish too. When the fish pop up on the surface, there's 4 different ways in which we can really locate these schools of fish.
Now, back in the early 80s when we had an El Nino situation like this, I know you were operating this boat and you were out there every day. How do you see that compared to this year?
Oh, it meets all the expectations that we had back in '83. I remember starting out with the yellowtail and the kelp patties down below Ensenada, and it's and down the inside, and it's working its way up the same way.
And the anglers should go out soon and take advantage of this because, like we both know, this type of fishing doesn't happen every year. These El Ninos are rare, and yellowfin tuna, dorado locally, that's something basically unheard of.
Could be a once in a lifetime deal with the dorado and well, yellowtail we generally get, but the dorado and the big bluefin and several of these the warm water species don't always come up this far. So it's a good opportunity to get out there and just go fishing. The counts are great every day, and any type of fishing you don't know what to expect. You could have an off day, but you'll never know till you go out there.
Well, Dan, thanks a lot for inviting us out.
Oh, you're welcome, Dan. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and see what happens in the morning.
I know we'll get them.
Okay.
Well, let's visit the tackle box and go over the gear that we'll be using on this trip. Now, for this type of fishing, we have a couple of options. Right now, I'm just going to talk about live bait fishing. What you want to do is have a nice sturdy rod. This is a Penn custom power stick rod. And what I've done is I've added a Penn Jigmaster 500 on it. Now the hooks, because we're fishing with sardines for bait, you want to go to a larger hook. These are the Mustads, they're new Accurate points, size 4.0. You can fish a 3.0 all the way up to like a 6.0, depending how active the fish get. Now one thing I would point out is the more active the fish become, move up to heavier gear. You don't need to waste your time just using 30-pound test line when you can move up to like 40 or even 60-pound tests, so you can power in those fish. Now, one of the things I've done is if I want to stay with 30 but want a stronger reel, I have a 3.0 reel. This one has a Tiburon kit added onto it. It's not necessary, but it's one of the things I've done to it. And then another reel to move up to is a Penn 4.0. This is a great reel. You'd fill it with like 40 or 50-pound test line. It works great for these local tuna trips. It's real important that you have the right rod and reels together. Another thing you might want to do is go to an iron jig like this. This is a Salas 6X. Throw it into the tunas, put it in free spool, let it go down deeper. The key here is the bigger fish are below those school-sized fish. Wind this back as fast as you can, and the tunas will bite it. Well, let's get back on the water and catch us some fish.
Hey, you guys want to soak your baits? Get a couple of light marks here, not a whole lot yet, but a lot of times we're a little ways off the patty before the fish slide into the boat there, so.
Keep stepping to the left,
for a few
guys.
minutes there. We'll check this out here real good. Okay guys, the earth's pretty dry. Let's keep moving, see if we can't find the right one. We have to hit a whole bunch of these things to find the right one, but it pays off. Wind them up.
Well, that's one down with many more to try. Stay with us because our next patty literally explodes.
Mike, I got a nice patty, man.
Where?
1 o'clock, birds on it.
Yes, sir.
A large patty with birds is a good sign. The skipper will definitely give this one a try.
Probably about another, 300 yards? Right there.
Right on it.
Got it.
Get back, Joey.
All right, Benny.
There's a big shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on it, baby. All right, get on him. Oh, get him up. Everybody up. Let's go. Wide open.
Watch your leg. Look down, man.
Right here.
Right time, man. Let's go.
Fight your line, Herb.
On the bow.
Bobby Joe. Oh, that's another fresh one.
over me there. There you go. You're doing good. What do you mean, Mr. Tuna! Yeehaw!
Where are you at? Go ahead.
They're hitting the skip, Greg!
Gap up here.
Woo!
Oh, there's a fresh one on the jig.
Yeehaw!
Wide open. Oh. Nice tuna, man.
We're fishing about 75 miles outside of San Diego. We got fish going everywhere. We got another one going here. We've already landed about 10 or 12 yellowfin tuna. We got 4 Dorado on the deck, and we have 6 fish going. It's wide open. Well, the action aboard the Mustang's been wide open this morning. The guys are using everything from iron jigs to live bait, but the most popular method for catching fish out here is with live bait. So these tanks right now, they're all filled up with sardines. That's what this is here. I'll grab one for bait. And all you want to do is just grab it gently. I'm using a large hook. This is a size 3/0 Mustad live bait hook, and just hooking them right through the nose like that. That's all you want to do, just like that. And I'm using a 4/0 size reel, and I'm just going to go ahead and toss it out here softly. No long cast or anything, just want to get out there where the chum is. Just lay it out there, keep it in free spool, and when the fish come up, just give it some line, let them run. So I'm just giving it line. And the fish will come through the corners here and you get bit. Here, we got him going here. Yeah, Danny's got one. We got a couple coming up to gaff here. Well, we've seen Dan do quite a bit today.
Get him with a
Here,
big
go ahead,
bass
go ahead.
stick here. With the experimental ones. Jumbo skipjack.
This bite was so wide open that some of the guys got out lift poles, which are what commercial fishermen used to use before nets. A live bait pinned to a hook on a short length of line. Wait for the bite and lift. Pretty exciting stuff. The bites turn pretty wide open here, so most of the guys are using sardines for bait. We got a couple of guys catching fish on fly rods even. What I'm gonna do is try this type of jig. It doesn't have the normal bill on it like you'd see on most of these type of jigs, but this one will do is just go up to the surface, kind of float, and all I'm gonna do is jerk it along the surface and try to get a fish to bite it. So I just cast it out. Fish are kind of heavy. I got 60-pound test line because the fish are biting good. Just throw the jig out there and just gonna work it back, just like that. Oh! Oh! Exploded on it. Now, because I got such a large reel and the drug's tightened down, I can just kind of force them in here, get them up to the boat. Oh, it's a yellowfin tuna. Oh! Oh! Don't take me in. Come on down, Andy.
Coming back in.
Oh! Watch your head. Oh, it's a nice yellowfin. Yeah. Yeah, we got a good sized yellowfin tuna right here. Yeah! Woo! This is John. He's the second ticket on the boat. He gaffed this fish for me, and this was the jig that we were talking about earlier. Just working it on the surface, just making it move and stuff, giving it some action, because it really doesn't have any action to itself. You have to do it all with the rod. And the fishing are going crazy like this. I mean, this comes in real handy. You don't have to run the bait tank, grab a bait each time. Just cast it out and the fish are engulfing it. Well, there's a lot of action. Stay tuned, I'm gonna go get me another one. We have a special treat for you today. We're gonna show you a traditional Japanese styles of having tuna. And we're at the Akasaka restaurant in Hacienda Heights. Our chef today is Q, and his daughter, Isako, is gonna be explaining what will be happening.
Today we will be showing you the difference between sashimi and sushi. When preparing to make sushi or sashimi, you have to cut it into pieces. In Japanese, you call it sakudori, which means like cuttable pieces.
Now, is there a certain width that these pieces of fish should be, or?
The width of your knuckles.
Oh, so that means I get bigger fish. I get a larger portion. I like this already.
Right now, he just applied the green is wasabi, is Japanese horseradish, and now he's shaping the sushi. When you're shaping the sushi, it's important to not touch the tuna too much, because the warmth of your hands doesn't actually cook the fish, but it makes the fish taste a little different.
Well, I've heard your father's world renowned, and I can see why this looks delicious. Now, if this was straight sashimi, it would just be the straight fish, right?
Yes.
Maybe we can have your father just cut us up some straight sashimi and we take a look at that. Well, we have two beautiful dishes here that your father's prepared for us. And both of these are popular with your customers?
Yes, very popular. #1 on the list.
Well, I'd like to thank Q. This is beautiful. Isako, thank you.
Thank you.
And for those of you that have never tried this type of dish, I highly recommend this restaurant. And the name of your restaurant is?
Akasaka.
Here in beautiful Hacienda Heights. Before I get back on the boat, I'm going to try some more of this. This is Gary Loomis and this is Bob Loomis. And they're with the same family who manufactures Loomis rods. They are the manufacturers. This is their first time out tuna fishing. What did you think of that?
Kick in the pants. It was outstanding.
A little bit different than fishing for steelhead?
Well, I want to tell you, they were wild. It was a real frenzy there for about 25 minutes. And fish were coming over the boat every which way and breaking lines and ripping drags.
You got some of these yellowfin.
Yeah, we got some yellowfins, we got some dolphins,
Dorado.
we got some of the skipjack.
Skipjack.
So it was loaded.
Bob, you're doing awfully good there too.
That was a lot of fun. We caught a few on a fly.
Yeah, we caught, that's right. We caught some on a fly.
Yeah. We had a couple people hooked up with flies. We put a couple yellowtail and skipjack on the boat. That was a blast.
Okay!
We got to hook up. Let's go.
Go!
You're in low gear. If you want to go to high?
Yeah, let's go high.
There you go. Okay, just try that.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Got cast them up.
Woo!
It's starting! Fresh one! This is Dan again, and he's fishing with a Loomis fly rod. I believe that's Steve Abel reel. And he's working a fly, and I know this is unusual for Southern California, but he's got a tuna on here on a fly rod.
Well, Dan,
How's it going?
last El Nino, all those big guys we caught, all those big 100-pound fish and stuff, the one fish I remember is I nailed a little tuna like this on 4-pound test and on an ultralight deal, and that was the ultimate. Had I been fly fishing back then, I think I would have been doing this, but this is it. I think this is a new avenue for fishing here in Southern California.
You hear a thumping in the background sound. That's all the tuna on the deck. We've got a wide open bite here. We got guys catching them on everything.
Yeah, we got 3 different spectrums. We got guys for the first time. I've told them in the past that the lip poles are the ultimate way of fishing. And I think this is probably the ultimate way of fishing too. But great diversity, and yet you can do everything here.
This is a lot of finesse fishing here. Okay, another one on the fly. Let's go over. Tuna right there. Out of the big tank. There you go. We got butterfly.
shot. Good gap.
There it is, right
Be
there.
sure to catch Sport Fishing next week as we take you to Cabo San Lucas for great fun on the water and off. Our Fish Tales comes to us this week from none other than my dad, Paul Hernandez. My dad and I were fishing aboard the New Image off Catalina Island when he hooked up with this 12-pound yellowtail. Dad, I'd give you a free book, but you already got the first one printed. If any of you would like to be our Fish Tale of the Week and receive a book, be sure to send in your photo or videotape today. Send your fishtail photos and any questions or comments to Sport Fishing, P.O. Box 90, Montebello, California, 90640. For a copy of today's episode of Sport Fishing, send a check or money order for $15 plus $2 shipping and handling to Sport Fishing, P.O. Box 90, Montebello, California 90640.